you. Oh, you got another paper. On to your next one. Happy to move this as well, Andrew. And I think Tim's happy to second it. Yep. So do you want to just talk us through it, noting it's the review that we asked you to undertake?
Sure. Thanks, Mr. Chairman. You have just a few points to help support it. This is the 12-month review which came out of the F&P committee back in April 2022. I've outlined a new proposed recommendation, and the changes are from that one in April 22. All service areas would go against the threshold of 5 million to bring back to the F&P committee. Previously, major facilities was drawn out separately at a $500,000 level. So I'm proposing they all go in together at 5 million. The visibility currently you're seeing the change request summary quarterly. I'm proposing to bring that back monthly just for sort of currency and improve transparency, but raise the threshold from 250k to 500k, and I'd report that in a PX section because of the commercial sensitivity around some of those contracts and contract variations that often relate to the change requests. And again, just look at it in 12 months time to see how that's going. Just by way of background, there's quite a lot of what I call sort of management information and policy stuff in this paper. I felt it was quite important to give that some visibility before arriving at this kind of governance position. I've had a question prior on page 85. There's a table there, and I think it's my second attachment. Just want to clarify that table is drawn from the Delgations manual and registered, summarised by the procurement team to give them some guidance as to what levels of contract commitment various officer positions are allowed. So this applies to the overall contract commitments and capital commitment across all of council. So in relation to the changes, we just use this as a bit of a reference point by way of making sure changes are at a lower level than these levels. I note as well that at the higher levels, as the CE's mentioned before, she has kind of had a push down a lower bar for these contract commitments, and especially as they relate to the changes. So the assurances that I can give you, and hopefully you've seen demonstrated in the last 15 months, is we have some very strong processes and systems around change management. There's a lot of levels of independence and segregation and cross-checking. And I think from this, you should be able to take some good confidence in the management and controls that we have around change management. And with these slight amendments, I think you'll continue to see a good level of insight and information on a more regular basis about how these changes are being managed. So happy to go to questions.
Thank you, Andrew. That's really useful. I think it's a good process for us to see. Does anyone have any questions? Yanni.
I understand the process. We've got a whole bunch of information and public excluded. Is the resolution that we're approving under 1 approving those changes that are in PX?
No, so as you'll be aware, and Andrew just explained, we're not approving the changes in PX. They're being reported up to us. So that's the point of the delegation.
Right. So what about ones that are over 5 million?
This is the review, and I mean, you can, if you want to speak to it, this is the review into it. So it's reconfirming the fact that we need to approve over 5 million, and that anything over 500 will be reported up to us.
Because we made the changes over a year ago, and we said we'd review it, how those delegations were working, that the council put in place.
Cool.
This is actually that review, and we've recommended some changes to that.
Right, got it.
So
cool.
This is not about specifics, this is just about the actual delegations.
Thank you for clarifying.
Cool. Rightio. So no. So that's been moved and seconded. Anyone want to discuss it? All in favour? Aye. Against? That's carried. Great. Thank you very much, Andrew, for your work on that. That's really good.